Chosen one, listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you because right now unseen hands are moving in your life and you can feel it. A restlessness, a searching, a sense that every time you reach for what's yours, it slips right through your fingers. You look around and it seems like every other week something is going missing. Not just keys, not just bank cards. Important documents lost. Money you thought was there suddenly gone. You swear you set your phone down by the bed, but in the rush of morning, it's nowhere and it costs you another half hour and that spirals into missed calls, missed connections, missed opportunities. It's enough to make you ask, what is happening to me? I need you to know you are not careless, you are not cursed. Something is breaking open right underneath the surface, and every loss, every missing thing is connected to the very threshold of breakthrough you have been begging God for. Let me tell you what's really at stake right now. You are on the edge of something real, something that shifts your story overnight. The closer you get, the greater the pressure. The pattern is not random, it is revelation. Every time you get near the door heaven is about to open, suddenly things that matter start shifting out of reach. That friend you used to confide in grows strangely distant right before you need their support the most. Receipts you need for your tax filing disappear at the last minute, and you panic because the deadline is now, not someday. It's not coincidence. There's a spiritual tug of war, and your losses are a signal that you are about to cross over. That is why frustration seems to follow you like a shadow, while you keep retracing your steps in circles. Don't take this as a sign you are losing. Recognize it as evidence that you are about to win. Let me take you into one night, the kind of night that marks you. It's 3 a.m. and you are wide awake. Your heart is pounding against your ribs and your mind is running an endless loop, replaying everything you misplaced or fumbled in the last 24 hours. The envelope with the last bit of cash, gone. Your brain scans the apartment, searching every drawer in your memory, every possible scenario. You try to breathe slow, but anxiety claws up your throat. You sit up in bed, reach for your phone to distract yourself, but your phone is missing too, and that sets off a deeper spiral. You turn on the light, tiptoe across cold floors, searching for anything familiar that will make the panic settle. You open closets, pull out jackets, overturn bags. Your knuckles scrape against old receipts and forgotten pens, but not what you need. Still nothing. So you try what always worked before. You take a pill, hoping sleep will come and steal back these hours. But your mind is wired, stress short-circuits every dose of rest. You kneel down and pray, whispering desperate words. God, just one sign, just one answer. The silence is heavy, so you turn to scrolling. Maybe a motivational quote, maybe a video will break the trance. It doesn't. The hours drag. You think of what tomorrow will cost you if you don't find what you've lost. That missed commute, that appointment, that opportunity. You feel the ache in your stomach, the tightening in your chest, the voice in your head saying, "You're always dropping the ball, you can't be trusted with blessing." The night only deepens. Morning comes with no relief, just daylight exposing your exhaustion. A to-do list now complicated by one more lost thing that you can't afford to replace. All you can do is keep moving, eyes gritty with fatigue, another day battling the invisible. But can I tell you right now, it's not just a mess, it's a mark. The pressure to lose is the sign that breakthrough is next. Let me show you the first place this hidden struggle tries to break you, your finances. Lately, every dollar seems to evaporate before you can track it. You make a payment here, 2 new charges pop up there. The bill you thought was paid suddenly shows up with a late fee and you can't remember missing it. The raise you expected gets delayed again and again. Or the job interview falls silent just when you're sure you nailed it. It's not random. It's a test at the entryway of breakthrough. The enemy loves to target provision right before breakthrough, hoping you'll tie your worth to what's left in your account. But right now, God is about to show you favor you didn't budget for. New streams, unexpected deposits, debts forgiven. There is a reason the pressure has increased, because supernatural provision is closer than it's ever been, and every financial loss right now is about to flip and become supernatural gain. Now listen, the second front is your relationships. Have you noticed it? People drifting. Connections you relied on are suddenly impossible to reach. People who promised to be there disappear overnight. Texts left unread, calls going to voicemail, friends turning cold with no explanation. You feel abandoned, right on the edge of need. This isn't proof you're unworthy. This is God clearing your circle, making room for destiny connections. Divine alignments, doors to new support, family restored, friends who come through without being asked. The loneliness is real, but so is the table being set for you in secret. Every time someone walked away, heaven was opening a space for a relationship that won't break under pressure. Let me break this down for you in your health. Stress is taking a toll. You wake up with headaches that weren't there before. Your body aches from tossing and turning all night. You try everything: magnesium, herbal tea, every tip you can find. Still the pain lingers. You book doctor appointments, but the answers are vague, the tests inconclusive. It's not that you're falling apart, it's the pressure of transition. Your body is reacting to a spiritual birth, the pain, before promise manifests. The healing being released is not just physical, it's restoration of sleep, clarity of mind, new strength surging just when you thought you'd run dry. Hold on. What you're losing in strength is about to multiply as resilience, as supernatural recovery. Here's what's happening in your work, your calling. Projects unravel right as they're about to take off. The client says yes on Monday, goes silent by Thursday. A collaborator you trusted suddenly pulls back. You send the email, you follow up, but you can't get traction. It feels like sabotage, like bad luck. But it's the birth pangs of a new assignment close on your heels. The moment it seems like every door is slamming is the same moment heaven is flipping the switch and opening the right door, at the right time, with the right people. What you're losing isn't rejection, it's redirection. The very plan that's falling apart is the one God never wanted you to settle for. Let it go. Something greater is being signed with your name on it, even as you read these words. Let me show you what's happening to your confidence, your name, your reputation. Right as you were about to step into new rooms, your name starts to get twisted. Someone spreads a rumor, a collaborator takes credit for your work. Suddenly you feel erased from the picture. The urge is strong to defend yourself, to fight for your piece of the spotlight. But instead of fighting, God is fighting for you. Every loss of credit, every lie told becomes a receipt heaven keeps. The record will be set straight at the moment of breakthrough, not before. Trust that restoration is on schedule and public vindication is being prepared for you. When your story turns, even the ones who doubted you will have to acknowledge what God has done. So right now, as the pattern repeats, don't fall for the lie that all this loss is your final chapter. Don't call it defeat when it's the doorway to your destiny. The enemy hoped you'd give up, count yourself out, leave the blessing on the table, but instead you are standing. You are still seeking, you are about to receive. They wanted you empty, but God is making you overflow. They wanted you lost, but heaven is writing your recovery. They tried to scatter your resources, but breakthrough is gathering your harvest. They hoped you'd choke under pressure, but you're drawing your next breath stronger. What was stolen is returning with interest. What was lost will be found in full view. Every missing thing is becoming a marker of favor you cannot lose. Suddenly, overnight, now. Let me take you further into this, because right now, as you move through your day with red eyes and half your heart holding its breath, something is turning in your favor. You can't always see it. On the outside, it looks like nothing is shifting, like you're still in the same place you were last week, as if the world forgot to send you your invitation to the next level. But underneath, shift is happening. Reversal is happening. Let me tell you, for every door that slammed, for every resource that disappeared, for every missed chance that cut you down, there is a counterforce at work, opening a path not even your past could sabotage. While you've been wrestling through confusion, shuffling through your memory like a deck of worn-out cards trying to find some clue you missed, heaven has already dispatched the answer, already rearranged the rooms and called your name out to the very people who once overlooked you. Here's something nobody told you. Vindication rarely comes the way we expect. You want an apology, an admission, a crowd to see you win in the same place you were counted out. You think restoration is about getting back what you lost, retracing your steps till everything adds up again. But right now, vindication is not a return to what you had. It is a vault into what you never imagined could be yours. The losses you keep counting are about to be dwarfed by gains so public, so undeniable, the same people who doubted, shamed, or distanced themselves are suddenly running to connect. You will look up, and where there used to be silence, a call comes out of nowhere. A meeting is secured you didn't even request. A mentor who never had time for you reaches out with an opportunity. It happens quick. It happens unexpectedly. And suddenly the one who was always overlooked becomes the center of the story. Let me explain why this reversal is deeper than just getting your stuff back. It hits your confidence, your core identity. See, every small loss, every disappointment was chipping away at your hope. You began asking, am I just unlucky? Am I the problem? Nights spent pacing the floor, cycling through past mistakes, weighing what you could have done differently. But you're about to watch the narrative shift. Overnight, the world's labels are falling off you, shame losing its grip. Right now, heaven is restoring your belief in yourself without needing proof from doubters, because your authority isn't tied to their opinion. Even if nobody says sorry, you are standing in a new kind of strength. The same areas where you felt dismissed are becoming stages for your next testimony. There's a moment just before the tables turn when you're tested by fresh disappointment. Another text that never comes, another door still locked. That's when the reversal stings the most. You wonder, why isn't this changing yet? Why does it always come close and then slip away? Listen, the enemy tries to make you believe that delay is denial. He wants you to tie every disappointment to your destiny, to convince you that what you lost is all you'll ever get. But right before the night breaks, right before breakthrough explodes in your life, there's always that last look of lack, that last cramp of loss at 3 a.m. That's the mark of imminence. When everything is screaming, give up, you're closer than you've ever been. Suddenly, things start to shift and you don't even realize it at first. One day, the lost paperwork turns up in a place you've already checked. A right place at the right time, and it opens up the next step for you without explanation. A lost package is delivered late, but this time it's packed with more than you ordered. You find a check in your mailbox that you never saw coming. Doors you forgot you knocked on now swing open with ease, and you know it wasn't your hustle, it wasn't your effort. It was a reversal designed by God. The eyes that were blind to your potential, the ears that refused to hear your ideas, now can't stop talking about what you carry. Let me show you how this vindication settles into your relationships. Right when you made peace with walking alone, reconciled yourself to doing it by yourself, here comes restoration. The coworker who joined in gossip suddenly seeks your forgiveness, unable to sleep until you know the truth came out. Old friends resurface, humbled by your resilience. Family members who discounted your struggle come around asking you for wisdom. Not because you begged them, but because what God is doing for you is visible now. You don't have to explain yourself, not this time. Your transformation is clear. your integrity undeniable, and the narrative about you is shifting city by city, circle by circle. Here's what happens in your work, your territory. The same project that fell apart now circles back to you, this time with conditions in your favor. The people who avoided you are now compelled to partner because it's clear that doors only open when you walk in the room. The skill set you honed in hidden places, the late nights you thought were wasted, become your platform. Sudden partnerships emerge. People start quoting your words, using your strategy, seeking your insight. Compensation meets you at the level of your true value, not what they tried to discount before. New clients, new platforms, new funding streams, pressed down, shaken together, running over. The losses in work become gains in ownership, multiplied many times over. Don't miss how the reversal touches even your private wounds. Every accusation, every rumor, every conversation you never heard but felt in your spirit. They are being exposed for what they were, distractions and delays on the way to destiny. Now, because you kept your integrity, because you chose silence when you could have struck back, heaven is defending you. God is raising up voices who will advocate for you behind closed doors. Your reputation is being rebuilt, not by force, but by the visible fruit of your life. Where your image was tarnished, it's now being polished and displayed without fear. Even enemies will have to admit your hand was clean, your walk was right. Let me tell you why these reversals are not just about you. This is commission. The struggle wasn't punishment, but preparation. Every loss sharpened your discernment. Where you used to ignore red flags, now you can spot deception in a handshake, false promises in a text, manipulation behind a smile. Your wisdom runs deeper. You can read a room with one glance, know who to trust and who to keep at arm's length. Because of what you survived, you're equipped to lead others through their own night seasons. You have authority not just over things, but over atmospheres, over patterns, over generational struggles. You become a breaker, a restorer, a model of resilience that others will follow when their turn comes. Right now, you are being commissioned in secret. While others see only the fatigue, only the loss, heaven is bestowing a new mantle on you. A calling to move in rooms you once only dreamed of. Expect the invitations. Expect the connections. Expect the sudden shift from overlooked to overbooked. Your words carry weight now. Your prayers drive change for others. When you speak, atmospheres submit. The same pain the enemy used to keep you silent, God is now using to amplify your influence. Multiplication is coming out of what was minimized. Opportunities are coming to you that no resume could have gotten you, that no campaign could have applied for. Divine access granted simply because you endured. Here is your charge. Go forward looking for lost things no more. What's ahead of you is not recovery of yesterday's crumbs, but the feast prepared for you in the presence of every doubt, every lie, every force that tried to keep you out. You will not repeat old cycles, you are breaking them. Where you were always starting over, now you finish strong. Where you were always empty-handed, now you carry abundance. Where doors used to close in your face, now you walk to the front without fear because your time is here. So right now, I release this decree over your life. What was lost will not only be found but returned sevenfold. What was broken is being remade stronger than before. They wanted you silent, but you're stepping up with a voice that can't be shaken. They wished you small, but you are expanding on every side. They thought you'd choke in the night, but you're breathing new air at dawn. They spun lies, but you are walking in truth and clear vision. They closed doors, but heaven opened gates no man can shut. Every reversal fully complete, every blessing released on time. You have emerged, a survivor, a leader, a builder. All that slipped from your hands has returned with multiplied interest. Your commission is now. Your vindication is public, your breakthrough is irreversible, suddenly, overnight. It happens now. Listen, chosen one, even as you walk out this new season, the past tries to shadow you, whispering old names, replaying the sound of doors slamming, the sting of being overlooked. But you're not the same as you were on the threshold of your losses. Every piece that vanished, every friend that faded, every resource that dried up, those things shaped you, forged you in ways you couldn't have grasped in the hour of despair. You've walked through hardship that left marks nobody else can see, scars under your clothes that only God noticed in every midnight wrestling. Right now, you bear the proof not just of survival, but of transformation. Once you measured your life by what was missing, but now you see through the eyes of inheritance, through the lens of the future. Let me show you how reversal works its way through every layer, until not a trace of defeat remains. Doors that refused you, those places you begged for a second chance, now stand open, but this time it's not out of need, it's invitation. You don't walk back in hunched over, apologizing for your presence. You walk with assurance, knowing you carry what the room requires. Those tables that felt too high, too prestigious, now wait for your voice, because what you bring can't be denied or substituted. The ones who ignored your value now rearrange the agenda to hear your story, to ask for your advice. The reversal comes so complete you almost forget what it felt like to be overlooked. The pain turns to memory, and then the memory fades. What you once lacked is buried under what you now steward. This is not just restoration, it's divine compensation. Not merely a return of lost items, but a promotion above what was withheld, a multiplication of every skill, connection, and resource. Let me tell you about vindication when it arrives. It doesn't usually knock on the front door, neat and polite. It breaks in through the very places that were most breached. The rooms of accusation, the corridors of gossip, the alleys where they muttered your name in secret. Vindication sweeps in, and suddenly the rumors have no weight. The old stories shrivel up. The grapevine turns, and now the good report about you circles faster than any lie ever did. That project you were passed over for becomes a cautionary tale, everyone whispering they should have chosen you the first time. Your enemies are not humiliated but silenced. Your critics are not destroyed but stilled. You don't gloat. You walk with dignity, remembering who carried you through the nights when nobody answered your call. The circle grows, but your spirit stays humble, not bitter, but clear-eyed, resolved. People see the difference. They sense you are trustworthy because you know what it is to be tried in the furnace and found faithful. Listen to me. Vindication in public always begins with peace in the hidden room. Before anyone else sees your rise, you feel it as stability inside. The doubts that used to sneak into your mornings, gone. The guilt that used to nag at your bedtime, silenced. Instead, you move with a clean heart, with steady hands, able to bless those who cursed you, able to pray with compassion for those who wronged you. And in that supernatural peace comes unexpected authority. You start getting messages from people you never chased, calls from leaders you admired from a distance. Your calendar fills with divine appointments, some to bless you, others for you to be the answer to someone else's prayer. When vindication comes, it multiplies outward. Where people once watched you to see if you'd fail, now they watch to witness what God does through you. Let me talk to you about the mantle of commission. It is heavier than you expected, but it fits. That sense that you're supposed to do something bigger, now it's confirmed. New burdens rest on your shoulders, not as punishment, but as holy trust. The things you once begged for, the ability to make change, to speak with impact, to fight for justice, to bring relief, now they're put in your hands because you can be trusted not to waste them. Not to build your own name, but to build something lasting for others. You notice how you move differently, how your priorities shift. Where you used to search for approval, now you move from mission. Where you used to crave applause, now you crave authenticity. Every conversation, every decision carries purpose, because the process made you careful, made you deep. Your commission is not a small thing hidden in a corner. It is a public call. People look to you not for a performance, but to see the blessing that hovers over your life. You become a sign that it's possible to lose everything and still rise. You're the one others seek when they feel like hope is thin and losses are stacking up. You don't have to fake strength. Your weakness has already worked itself into wisdom. Compassion becomes your signature, humility your platform. You know what a closed door feels like. So wherever you go now, doors open for you, and you hold them open for those coming up behind. I need you to see this clearly. The process did not only refine you, it recalibrated your influence. Suddenly when you speak, people stop scrolling, stop moving, and listen. Your story, your testimony carries an authority because it is tested, because it cost you something to utter every line. The same streets where you wore defeat are now your territory. Every environment that tried to spit you out is now required to make room for you. Places you were rejected now ask for your blueprint. How did you survive? How did you keep going? How did you find purpose after you lost so much? You answer, and it isn't just your words stirring them, it's the presence of God on you, the mantle settled deep on your shoulders. When you lay hands, healing comes. When you decree blessing, favor follows. When you intercede, obstacles move. Sometimes you catch yourself remembering, it wasn't always like this. There were moments when you thought the enemy had won, when you almost turned back, almost hid for good. The ache of loss, the shame of delay, the endless wait at midnight that seemed to have no answer. But look now, every night watch is returning as a morning of clarity, every tear is returning as harvest. The record is being set straight not only by what you get back, but by what you're trusted to carry forward. You are a carrier of reversal, a dealer of vindication, an agent of generational commission. Don't think for a minute that these blessings will be snatched away once you're settled. No more last-minute sabotage, no more disappearing resources, no more almost moments that leave you hollow. This new season is built on a foundation fire could not destroy. Every missed chance now redeemed, every closed file now reopened with favor stamped on the first page. This rotation, reversal, vindication, commission, is permanent, not temporary. You don't step back hoping to salvage pieces. You stride forward with confidence that what God grants, He sustains. So right now, as the world witnesses what God is doing for you, let every story of defeat be rewritten by the hand of victory. Your name, which carried the shadow of loss, is now pronounced with respect. Where they wrote you off, they now write you in. Where you lost your place, you now receive double portion. The opportunities that slipped away come back with increase. The relationships that fractured now heal in truth. What was barren in your hands now multiplies even in drought. Your dreams go from delayed to delivered. Your purpose is not denied but displayed for all to see. This is your closing decree. Receive it as seed. Water it with expectation. Watch it break open right before your eyes. You were the one the world tried to forget, but now you are the one written in bold. They said you lost too much, but God says you are trusted with much more. They said you would fade, but you shine brighter, unhidden, undeniable. They expected your story to end in lack, but provision shows up wherever you go. They hoped you'd turn bitter, but you walk in unshakable kindness and new mercy every day. They thought your testimony was finished, but it's gaining new chapters, new readers, new impact. You are chosen, commissioned, and crowned, not on the margins, but at the center of God's unfolding plan. All that was reversed, vindicated, and commissioned is yours, fully, permanently, powerfully, suddenly, overnight, and now. Let me draw you in even closer, chosen one, because as you stand in the swirl of all this shifting, you need to see how complete this reversal really is. It's not just a good turn of events, not just a streak of better luck that breaks through the fog. This is a holy reversal woven into the details of your daily life, a hand steadying you through rooms that once tried to press you flat, a command that what devoured your peace cannot have you, not now, not again. For too long you've survived on scraps of love, scraps of respect, scraps of opportunity handed out sparingly. You trained yourself to find joy in leftovers, to call crumbs a meal, to act like half an answer was enough. But there's a fullness coming, a reversal that pulls you out of famine and into places of feast, a table overflowing where the world once left you hungry. It's right here in your routine, in the moments that used to break you, the morning you can't find your way because a key is missing, the afternoon when your plans collapse because a signature goes undone, the night you return again to lonely rooms hoping someone, anyone, will reach for you. You walk circles in your mind, retracing steps, rereading conversations, blaming yourself for what slipped through your hands. But let me tell you, the script is flipping even now. Instead of returning empty, you start stumbling into provision. An old email opens a new door. A message you thought was spam becomes the link to the answer you needed. An awkward apology from years ago returns as closure. Even small things become signs. You find forgotten money in a coat pocket. A neighbor offers you what you'd prayed about in secret. Strangers step into the gap with helping hands where your friends were once blind. Pay attention, because reversal is thorough. It goes beyond public reward. It reaches deep into the private places where you've lost trust in yourself. The lamp is coming back on inside you. The fear that you're always one step from losing it all, that your blessings are always temporary, that you're the hidden variable that jinxes every breakthrough. It's breaking. Instead of bracing for loss, you learn to expect goodness, to anchor yourself in abundance, to let your guard rest down because the cycle has shifted permanently. This is not optimism glued on over anxiety, it's a fresh foundation, reset from the bottom up. The rules have changed, the season has changed, and the losses don't own you anymore. Let me show you how vindication walks in, slow and heavy with justice, but gentle for your wounds. Sometimes it enters with a whisper. Someone speaks your name in a room you never entered, and suddenly the atmosphere tilts in your favor. Sometimes it's thunder. A person who dismissed you cannot proceed without coming back, making things right, restoring your seat at the table. You start hearing rumors about how your story inspired others, how your faithfulness in the dark kept someone else alive. Vindication is not always loud, but it's always undeniable. What's spoken into darkness gets announced in the light. Where you once had to defend yourself, now you stay silent, and truth does the talking for you. What you built quietly through late nights and silent tears, what you held together when nobody clapped, stands sturdy when tested. And now eyes that overlooked you are arrested, forced to recognize what only God could have sustained. Right now, relationships that fractured on the fault line of jealousy, suspicion, or misunderstanding start circling back. Some come with apologies, yes, but most come changed. Humbled, hungry for the peace you found, the steadiness you walk in. You don't have to prove yourself to get them back. Vindication isn't about restoring the old patterns, but about building fresh from a higher place. As peace grows in your life, it repels the users and attracts the true. Where you used to fight for scraps of attention, now integrity and kindness become your magnet. Watch how the ones who snickered will have their own midnight battles. How the ones who called you forgettable are now compelled to honor what's unbreakable in you. This is reversal with a memory. Vindication that's both healing and witness, both recompense and lesson. Let me take you deeper into commission, because this is where everything you survived becomes the ground you stand on to elevate others. The pain that tried to make you hide now qualifies you for deep and lasting influence. No one can say you don't know what it's like to lose a battle you fought hard to win. No one can doubt the authenticity in your eyes when you speak hope into a weary soul. Your story is credible, stamped with struggle, with real scars and real resurrection. When you move into new rooms with more at stake, more people watching, more keys in your hands, know that your commission is not just permission to shine. It's an assignment to rescue, to unlock, to build what's lasting for those who still tremble in darkness. You'll recognize it as you step further. Your words carry different weight now. You say less, but people lean in further. You don't have to explain your value. Your presence settles disputes. Your insight smooths confusion. Your wisdom breaks cycles. Doors that once blew shut with every cold wind now stay open as long as you stand there. The anointing on your life is not cheap. You paid for it in persistence, in forgiveness, in nights where you chose to hope anyway. You are authorized not by man's vote but by heaven's decree to stand tall and grant access where others have been blocked. What blocked your advance has become the very key you now pass on. Wherever you go, you notice momentum. What used to take months now takes days. What used to cost you everything now comes with ease. Doors swing, people listen, favor flows. You are not just blessed for yourself, you are blessed to become a blessing. Commission means owning the room, yes, but also opening doors for the broken, for the rejected, for those whose stories still echo with the ache of loss. You turn spaces of competition into webs of collaboration, and the world starts to notice the shift. It was never just about you claiming your spot, but about you giving others reason to dream again. This is your pattern now. You break through, you make room, you bless, you build. It repeats, each cycle deeper, richer, more fruitful. You no longer question if you belong. You stop second-guessing the calls. You silence the old voices that say too much risk, too much chance, you'll lose it again. You see now, losing didn't end you. Reversal rewrote you. Vindication stamped your file. Commission sent you out with orders and authority, and nothing that once threatened to erase you can stand in your way. You don't shrink around new opportunity. You expand, you claim, you become what the hour demands. So I declare over you with every breath I still have, a closing decree that seals every promise, marks every turning. You are no longer defined by what slipped away, but by what stands unshakable within you. Loss can't find you. Only gain tracks your steps. Disappointment can't mark you. Only legacy remains. You are the proof that famine can end in fullness, that empty rooms can turn into places of feast. Where you once prayed for scraps, you now become the hand that feeds others. Where doors were shut in your face, now you're the gatekeeper and the host. People thought you'd hide. Now you lead. They assumed you'd stay silent, but healing flows from your voice. They expected you to apologize for wanting more, but you've been trusted with much because you lost much and kept your heart through it all. Let it be established right now. Cycles of loss, broken, periods of drought ended. Stories of almost completed in full. What was sown in tears returns as songs of rejoicing. What was stolen returns with interest. What was withered springs up green. You are anointed to stand where you once crawled, to speak where you once mourned, to build what could not be kept, to love when love was withheld. This is no temporary breakthrough. It is harvest with no expiration. Take hold, walk through, claim your seat, invite others in, because the reversal is yours. The vindication is complete, and the commission carries you without fear. What you lost is no longer a headline, it's a byline, a foundation, a footnote under the main event. You standing, you leading, you owning your season, suddenly, overnight, now.